Well, here's the 106-page report, which was published at 9 o'clock this morning by the Commons Privileges Committee. But once you start reading it, it's page after page of political dynamite. See, this is a Tory-dominated committee, and the expectation amongst many people was that there'd be a verdict against Mr Johnson, but that it would recommend that it be suspended for less than 10 days, and that this would mean that there'd be no by-election in his Uxbridge and South Ruislip constituency. But instead, it was an absolute bombshell report. It's recommended that Mr Johnson should be suspended for 90 days and that he should also be banned from having a pass for ex-MPs to come back to the Commons.
Will the Prime Minister tell the House whether there was a party in Downing Street on the 13th of November?
Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, no, but I'm sure that whatever happened, the guidance was followed and the rules were followed at all times.
The committee was really looking not whether he'd actually told the Commons information that was factually untrue, because we know that by now. It was really looking at whether Mr Johnson had unintentionally misled Parliament, deliberately or recklessly. And it found that he had deliberately misled Parliament. There already will be a by-election because on Friday Mr Johnson stunned politics in Britain by announcing he was resigning as an MP. But what we're going to see now towards the end of July probably is a by-election in his West London constituency, and also another one in North Yorkshire in Selby and Ainsty, as one of his close rivals Nigel Adams has resigned there. And very bizarrely, another close ally, Nadine Dorries, she said she was going to resign, but she hasn't resigned. So we really don't know what's going to happen there, but it certainly looks like she's out to cause more chaos for the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. Well, on Friday, after he'd received a draft copy of the report, he launched a scathing criticism of it, saying it was effectively a kangaroo court. This morning, he sent out another very, very angry condemnation of the report, basically saying its conclusion was deranged. Now, the committee reacted to his Friday criticism by actually increasing its proposed sanction to a 90-day suspension.
I have learned enough to know that there were things we simply did not get right. And I must take responsibility.
Well, certainly in the short term, it looks like his immediate political future has largely come to an end, certainly in the House of Commons. If you look across the Atlantic, Donald Trump is also facing court charges, so it feels like there's a bit of an end of an era here, possibly. But Boris Johnson has defied political gravity for so long as Mayor of London, as an MP, and then as Prime Minister, so no one would really bet against Mr Johnson making another comeback in future years.